The example that's coming to mind, and people are going to learn about what Christina Williams has been up to at Lionakis. They'll hear about it through the podcast and webinars and K-Connect this year, but she's taken a longstanding program, which is their Design Technology Bootcamp, which was all live synchronous instruction. And over a number of, I think it's 52, 54 hours a year for new people who are going to be design technology specialists and be embedded in project teams to support the teams with Revit and all the other tools they're using. And so what Christina's been doing is, well, let's try and do some hybrid formats. How about the instruction-y part of this, where I teach you what design options are, or how to do keynotes, or how to do whatever the kind of the technique is. I can, instead of that taking me 30 to 35 minutes to teach you, if I'm efficient in making it pre-recorded, maybe that's 18 minutes, maybe that's 20 minutes, and I can cut out some of the sidebar stuff and just simplify it down to the core things you need to know. What they're going to do is watch that together as a group and then discuss it. Or, we've seen, you and I were in some beta cohort calls yesterday where it's like, I want you to read our AI policy, right? I want you to watch this short video about how we're approaching AI tools. And then I want you, through a link in here, to book a 15-minute meeting in my schedule to talk about what you learned, what your ideas are, how you think AI might help you. And so these like multimodal hybrid environment, like that's what I think a modern learning or experience it looks like. It's not one size fits all. But the side benefit of that is that in the Lionakis example, sometimes people learn better if they can pause and they can go back, or they can break it up into like, maybe it's 18 minutes, but I just want to pause this, think, go get some coffee, come back, watch the next 9 minutes, make some notes, open up Revit, maybe try the thing, keep watching, and letting people go at their own pace is more accessible for more people. But it also means that I can go through the course and then 6 weeks later, 6 months later, and I don't remember how design options work, I can come back and rewatch it, right? It wasn't contingent on me being live with the instructor in the room. So it's also thinking about recall and retrieval. And then now that it's digitized, anybody at Lionakis who's trying to figure out design options, they just search on their intranet, and AI search is going to pull them exactly the answers they need out of that course. So you've done a lot of things by digitizing this, both for the immediate experience of someone going through that learning program, but then also, downstream and for others.
One of the things that actually came out of some of our work with Lionakis, preparing for them sharing their story, is thinking about that retrieval while you're building the course. And there was a specific example with Autodesk Construction Cloud / Forma, where they were breaking out the courses, and they're like, one of the things you're going to have to do is you're creating your project in Forma, you have to do all these things, and then you have to add your users to the project. So instead of making the add users and project part of a broader video, they pulled that out as a separate lesson and separate video, because they're like, that's a thing people are going to have to come back to a bunch of times probably. We need to make that recall really good. So they optimized for the recall of a specific step that they thought people would need to recall.
Yeah, it's almost like if you're producing Saturday Night Live or you're producing The Daily Show, you're thinking about it in terms of clips and segments. And those clips and segments are going to be standalone videos on YouTube downstream. If you're thinking about your course that way, it's like these are key moments that will stand alone, but added up, they make a continuous experience. And I think, again, that canonical hour-long thing, maybe it's an hour long because it wasn't as efficient as it could have been. So maybe it's down to 45 minutes. But 45 minutes can still be the right length, but maybe it should be 9 5-minute segments, or 5 9-minute segments, or 3 15-minute segments, for exactly the reason that you're saying. In addition, it makes it easier to maintain that knowledge too. So if something changes that was in minute 37 of your hour-long thing, but you got it broken down into a 9-minute segment, maybe you just have to replace that 9-minute thing, and so you've got less of a technical learning debt that you're taking on. Yeah, so this is it, right? We're talking about modern learning orgs. This is how you're thinking about this, right? You're thinking long-term strategic value, working back, thinking about the needs of users, thinking about retrieval, while you're thinking about the person that's going to take it. Maybe they're going to take it live. Maybe they're going to take it on demand. How does AI factor into letting people easily extract the piece they need? So you're thinking on multiple levels, which is, I think, getting back to the stress that you talked about at the very beginning. It's like, this is a huge opportunity. I don't want to screw it up.
Yeah.
So then it's also worth some more strategy up front, is kind of what we're talking about.